Okay. So naturally, you probably have lots of questions, right? What do we mean by the loop? So let's first address some musical stuff, right? You saw all of the musical selections that we have in our show. I told you earlier, right, that the process of creating the show has moved a lot faster, and we're already writing the closer. So we've written the opener, and the opener is the song that you heard, which is The Weekend. So that is our first thing that you will hear. There will be a pre-show, right, with all of the cool sounds from like the original tune from The Weekend, and then it will go into, obviously, where the band starts marching and playing. Over that, there's going to be a soloist featured, and that soloist is going to be a flute soloist. All of these solos and features we are going to get out to you by the end of this week. That way we can hold auditions before we let up for the summer. That way our soloists and small ensemble people, you guys have all the time in the world to practice and be prepared for your solos when you show up to summer band. So we've got a soloist, we've got band playing, we've got The Weekend happening, and that is our first movement. After that, we go into two songs that are written by this guy, John Adams. If you've ever heard of his music, it's really... what a name, right? Yes. Isn't there a president named John Adams? Yes. Awesome. Well, not written by him, but this other guy. And his music is very modern and minimal, would be kind of the musically appropriate word to use there. But you can go and you can YouTube his stuff, and a lot of it sounds very similar. It's very much a similar vibe, but we think that it's going to really embody and match this whole concept of the loop, right? And keeping that consistent. The ballad is this beautiful piece of music that will feature a soloist and a duet. So one of those soloists will be featured in the duet as well. And those two voices right now are going to be some sort of flugelhorn or trumpet, and a low voice like a baritone or something of the sort. So the ballad is very beautiful. It features some soloists, and the ballad is the piece of music that you saw first, which is called Immortal, and you can look that up. After that, there will be a little bit of a percussion feature, right? And that's to be worked on. Yes. And then we will end the marching show with a song called Cycle Song. And you may or may not have heard of this person, Imogen Heap, and they write a bunch of like pop stuff and cool stuff like that. So there's still lots to be figured out. And then finally, I kind of want to tell you about the visual component of the show, what things you're going to be seeing, what things that you are going to be doing as the performers to make sure that we're really truly conveying what the show is. So obviously, the point of this is the loop. So you're going to see lots of loops on the field, and I mean that in many different ways. Number one, a circle, right? When we make drill and we do loop-like figures, that is portraying the loop. We will also have varieties of different colors, different sizes, basically these really oversized hula hoops that we're going to be using on the field very actively throughout the show. So There will be moments where wind players are manipulating them. There will be moments when we put a soloist in a loop, right? There will be moments where the color guard is manipulating the loops and they're doing all of that interactivity. So that's what you're going to be seeing. Costumes, for the most part, have been created. Now there are some edits and things to still make and modifications before we send over sizing for everything and everyone, and then we have costumes here. But we are doing custom band tops, and we are doing, of course, a custom color guard uniform. The general kind of color palette, what you'll see for on the show, is a general base of like a really deep dark purple. That's going to be like our dark color. And then there's going to be lots of contrast with lots of bright, almost neon-like colors to give it a little bit of pop. And that's going to be, there's going to be pink, there's going to be an orange-ish yellow. And so that's what you'll see both on the costumes for the band top and the guard top. I do not have those things to show you yet because they are not final yet. So as we do, right, we will make sure that you guys get to see those things. We will make sure that we do those things together, right? That way we can all be a part of it and it can all be an experience. And some people aren't finding out things before others. So we'll keep you in the loop, but yeah. That's arguably going to be better than Split, right? Like, keep you in the loop, right? I can't tell you how many times I've told you guys, like, oh, I'll keep you in the loop, and in my mind, I'm like, ooh. Did you tell somebody? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, anyway, in keeping you in the loop, everybody, the one more thing that I am able to show you, or rather, we're going to listen to together, is the actual music that is written for our opener. So this is going to be pre-show with wind parts and percussion parts, both battery and front ensemble parts, okay? So. All right, now wind players, you can kind of put two and two together with your audition music and where that's from. So anyway, guys, I hope you're excited. Are y'all hyped? All right, good. I do hope that you're excited. I do hope that you're ready for next marching season, right? So the best thing that you can do for yourself, the best thing that you guys can do for each other, right? We are a team. We are one of the biggest teams here at Steele High School. The best thing you can do is put yourself in a position to make sure that you are prepared for summer band, right? And I mean that in many ways. I mean that you are physically prepared for summer band, right? What we do is very athletic and very intense. So making sure that you maintain that preparation over the summer, and you're not just a bump on a log all summer, right? And then obviously, to make sure that you're musically prepared, right? And as I mentioned earlier, soloists will go home and know a solo that they need to be playing. Everybody else is going to go home with the entire marching show in music, ready to be played, ready to be learned. By the time we get to summer band, we all, in theory, right, we all know the marching show. So that said, just make sure we need to start and end next season with that absolute drive for success, right? With making sure that we are committing to being nothing but excellent at what we do, even when it's really hot, even when it's really hard, and even when you're really tired of it, and it's November, and we've been performing the same show over and over. So I hope you're excited. Hey, lots to be done. We will get you guys music sometime by the end of the week so that you guys can start learning that. We will, as I said earlier, keep you in the loop. All right.